Hi everyone, this is Sonia from the Becoming Group, and in today's video I'd like to talk to you about how to be confident, or how I became confident, because I will not be sharing anything that I have not done in my own personal life, that I've not experienced, or that I'm not practicing right now. And so I don't want this video to be long, so I'm going to go through it very quickly. And I have been thinking about self-confidence for the past week, and I wanted to just come on here and share with you the things that I did to be more confident, because back in the day, like maybe years ago, I struggled with self-confidence. It was something that I never had, and I think it had to do with the struggles that I felt with my physical appearance, my voice. I did not like my voice at all, and more than anything else, I did not love myself. And I think those are the things that contributed immensely to my lack of self-confidence. And it would show when I had presentation back in university or high school. I used to crumble the day of the presentation, even when people tell me, as long as you have your content, as long as you know exactly what you want to say, you're good. And I would have everything down on paper, like word for word, and memorize it. And on the day of the presentation, it would be a disaster. And I realized that it had to do with what I believe about myself and the lack of self-confidence. So in this video, I'll be going through about 5 things. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 5 things that I did to become more confident. And so number one, it has to be my number one, is my belief in God, is my faith in God. When I started to believe in God, I realized that, and I started to believe that what He said about me is true. I started to experience a different level of boldness and confidence in my life when I started to take Him by His word, like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. I am beautifully and wonderfully created by God. And I started to meditate on those things, and I became confident. I was actually on the road or on the path to self-confidence. So that is my number one. And my number two is that I surrounded myself with people who encouraged me, who pour into my spirit. When you start to surround yourself with people like that, it helps to build your self-confidence, and you feel a sense that you're being supported to do whatever you need to do. And so that has to be my number two. We need a support system, people who will, be there for you, encourage you when you can't encourage yourself. And so that's my number two. I'm going through them really fast because I do not want this video to be super long. And my number three is that I started to speak with authority and power. Because I started to believe what God said about me. I realized that if we believe it and not speak it, it actually cancels out the belief. And so I started to speak with confidence and speak with the authority and power that God gave to me, because He said, greater is in me than what's in the world. And so I believe that greater lives on the inside of me, and I started to speak it, and then I started to see transformation in my confidence. And my number four, there are many what ifs that just float around in our minds, and I started to eliminate those what ifs, because they harbor fear in our hearts, and it prevents us from going forward and doing what we know we're supposed to do. And the what ifs, like what if I get a negative feedback, what if no one likes me, what if I don't do a good job, what if I fail. All of these things are just floating around in our minds. And what I would encourage you to do, and what I did for myself, is to eliminate those what ifs. And if it's a case where you cannot completely get rid of them, because we're humans, we're always thinking, thoughts are always floating around in our minds. What we could do, we must learn to ignore them, and we must learn to develop the do it anyway mindset. The what ifs are floating around, but guess what, I'm going to do it anyway. And that's my number 4, and I think that helped boost my confidence level a lot. And number 5 is to accept opportunities to exercise your confidence, whether it be starting a YouTube channel like I'm doing now. And this is a big thing for me, because nobody would get me to sit before a camera and say anything at all without fainting or having a nervous breakdown. So this is actually demonstrating self-confidence for me.